So, continuing the conversation on points of view and this notion of the alternate point of view.
Every view is an alternate view. Yeah. You can say it's a primary one, and there's a secondary one. So which view are you today? The primary or the secondary? Maybe both. Right. So if we use then by the scale, primary being the heart viewpoint, that's a good view. Yeah. Maybe that's the better view, we don't know yet. A secondary one being the karmic viewpoint, the viewpoint of changes, the heart being the viewpoint of no change. See? We might have a scale we can use then, because we're both the unconscious and the superconscious. So we have a view and an alternate viewpoint, maybe a counter viewpoint for that matter. Maybe it's the balance. See? You have a positive view and you might have, super positive view. Yeah. But what is of essence is the view, let's say the primary view on relations and the myth or illusion of separation. That would seem to be the primary viewpoint of interest here.
So is anybody separate from anybody else, and if so, why?
We have to revert to Shakespeare. Good and bad, what is that? Only thinking makes it so. We're talking about the practice of thinking, whatever that might be, for whomever is utilizing that practice for their own demise or for their own realization. Then you have something useful. So separation then is what? A fact, or maybe a myth? Is it a valid perception or cognition or what? If we're talking about physical dimension of appearances, then we have let's say a mock-up, an appearance of separation when we're talking about 2 points with a distance between them. Yeah. We can pull away and see them as no distance, or we can come up close and see them as vast distance. Yeah. So it's perception. Yeah. We need to understand what the perception is and what the basis of the perception is. We're talking about physical objects, then they appear necessarily from the physical dimension as separate, individuated, which is an illusion, it's an appearance. But it's a valid appearance because a person will say, no, I'm here, relative to the body, so the body can say it's here. Another body will say, but I'm over here. And both points from the relative view of physical appearance are valid. So there is the illusion of appearance and separation as it appears relative to the physical plane. But going deeper is the actual valid separation. If you're obsessed with something, are you really separated from it, or is it something that's going on in you all the time? And we're talking about the psychic nature of what the perception might be or needs to be in order to be able to say, no, this illusion is useful. This illusion is not only valid, but necessary. Clearly, when a woman has a child, there's separation. But is it separation? When people are in love, bingo, is there separation? Could separation be a fact? If it's limited to the physical, then we say, yes, separation is a fact. 2 bodies in 2 different places, 2 different spaces. But if we're talking about love relative to the heart rather than the mind and selfishness, then we have to say, well, is there such a thing as separation? Mind would say there is. Heart might say no such thing. Then it's a matter of understanding one against or over the other. or whether or not there's a realization of the heart, which means it's not even possible to have separation. Everything is one. Same thing. Yeah. And as anything arises or appears, then you are one with that thing, because it can only appear if you project it. So we're talking about what's projected. Not what is understood or realized, but what is projected. See? Maybe well-intentioned, but projected nevertheless, as an appearance. Hopefully that appearance, if we're talking about any kind of higher or inner value to or sacred purpose of a certain kind of appearance, is integrative rather than disintegrative. See, it's healing rather than disease. See, suffering, painful. So, but from the heart, so, oh, love, you're always with me, love. We cannot be separated. That's love. Mad? No doubt. That's love. Take it or leave it. The madness of love. No separation. But it's the same with art. It's no different. Having a vision, no one can see it. They don't see it. They don't understand the reality. Artist says, "Don't have the vision. I already see it. It's already done." Same with composition. I already hear it. Yeah, but I can't pay you for a vision, man. We have no business with a vision. We need to see and hear it. And then it becomes an understanding what love is about. So inner vision, and that makes it real. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the art of love, then it's more or less part of an internal realization. So one can then say to the partner, if there is such a thing as a partner, the other, so, I love you, there's no separation, so never doubt. Because if you doubt, you sin. And that means you don't believe, you don't have faith in this. It's make-believe. How can you doubt and not destroy this love? You, how dare you pollute this pure love with your doubt, your darkness, your ignorance. So when love is speaking, I said, everything's good, perfect. Never doubting, it's beyond doubting, because it is part of the whole, total. No fear, no doubt here. Love is love, and that's all there is. How can there be anything less? Says the heart, who knows itself as the universe. The heart is the universe. Universe is the heart. Theory, no doubt. Also realization. And not a bad start. See? Some of this has to do with trusting, not other. Don't recommend trust other. Trust self. Trusting, which means being open. Trusting, openness. Okayness. We're talking about the positive and having access to the positive as an very important aspect of the heart nature. Sweet nature. True sweet. Right? Yeah. Nature, what it is. That's why it's important to practice to establish not merely resonance with, but reality as this positive. Yeah. Positive. Yeah. A form of surrender, yet a declaration of no BS. No self-thought or mind as gravitational links to suffering, unhappiness, ignorance, and darkness. Who needs that? Sweep, brush, paint over, maybe, whatever. Destroy. And say, breathing clear and free. Yes. What's there to doubt and fear? I am by nature bliss, so be it. Bliss rules. Who'd you say you were anyway? Who are you? You're my what? What's that? Yeah, the whole big picture. Heartfulness, another concept that adds a dimension to this. Heartfulness, say fullness, distinct from emptiness, meaning relatively the same. Some kind of radiance, like a outflow, outflux, exflux, new word, exflux. Have you exfluxiated today? Are you exfluxing properly? As distinct from brushing your teeth, right? Fluxing your mind, your heart, see? Exercising heart muscles, see? Spiritual heart muscles, see? Come on. So then we need to take another look at what mind is in terms of awareness, and what relationship is, say, in terms of the heart. And the fact of non-separation as very distinct from the illusion of separation, based upon, maybe grounded in a sense of the physical and the concrete, say, where appearances are exactly what that is. Say. Appearances are appearances. Next level, maybe appearances are no appearances. Good. Yeah. Feeling no separation, say, with other, because there's no other, because there's this union or communion, say, which is ideal, perhaps visionary, say, art in itself, realization, perhaps even a form of Zen understanding. Yeah. Yeah. One hand clapping, who hears that?
How does aloneness and relationship dance? Like, where's the balance?
Aloneness is the mother love for the child, which is absolutely non-separational. Yeah, it's a good example. See, all praise to the mother. See, the mother has direct experience with what this should be, what it is. See, we are born from the mother, yet you're never separated from the mother because you are the mother's body. Okay? So, resonating properly with the mother is a fact of the universe because of that alone. You are the flesh of flesh. Same thing. See, the illusion of difference doesn't exist when you have an emotional attachment that proves, or a psychic attachment that proves the point. There's no separation. There can't be any separation. Because it's one heart stretched or expanded. Same. A true relationship is similarly. See? Non-separational. Undivided, see? Non-divisional in nature. It's a beingness then. A beingness. Yeah. We might say being oneness, see? Which is a word, concept. But it's also a perception. Yeah. It's a psychic perception or a psychic knowing or even a realization. It's doubtful. Doubtless, say. No doubt, in fact. Beyond doubt. Like being earth beings. We can talk about it, but who needs proof? Yeah. The oneness is obvious. We are the earth, but yet we are not the earth because we're human. Right? So we can leave the earth, prove that we're not the earth. Have nothing to do with it. It's not going very far anyway. The Earth is in continual motion relative to its family and its solar system. So we can only be as much as the Earth is. See, feeding off of star energy, sun energy, or light energy. See, feeding off of that. See, sun blinks its eye, and Earth dies. It freezes up. Okay, some kind of cosmic logic and a joke. Please, sun, don't close your eye. Please don't blink your eye. Right? So we're here, part of this process, okay, of blinking. Right? The appearance of blinking, the need to blink our eyes, but also the need to continue breathing. Despite blinks, see, we have to keep being, see, alive or life. Yeah, it's continuous. So the in and out bellowing, the breathing cycle is part of this continuum. It sustains and maintains the continuum. Being alive for the moment. Being connected, see, as the life stream itself. So all this is useful to consider, contemplate, maybe meditate on to a certain degree. See, in order to sort of feel oneness and continuity with all of life, which is the point of the heart. See, the heart is the universe. It's not just an other. See, it's transcendent of other. It is all other, which means no other. See, it is what it is. This is important too to consider. See, the finished result, as they say, the fruition as the basis or as the path itself. Oneness already done, already gone, already know where to go. But here, which is where it is, only, always here.
What is the function of a relationship on a high level?
Highest level, no relationship. On the lowest level, no relationship. The middle level, no relationship. Because it is what it is. Yeah. And if we're talking about people in the universe, on their own sort of time path, time world, cycles of appearance and disappearance, sleeping and awakening, see, living and dying. Well, everything is intersecting according to law. Law determines that. Karma determines these things. So we're here to meet, but then we're here to separate, so to speak. That means pass. But meet. We're continually meeting other beings. In a crowd, you meet one more specifically than others, depending on the time. So we are passing through this whole thing called life. But we have to have confidence that our ultimate purpose is to be beyond what we see and hear and feel and experience, because it's a continual, ongoing process of refreshment, of experience. That's realization. As we can say is the case when we're breathing. You breathe in molecules and energies and entities even in one place, in one way, or during one moment, and then 5 inhalations later, it's all different. Continually so. Perfectly so. Necessarily so. Understanding the infinitude of the universe. It would have to be that way. How can infinity be infinity if it's not infinite? Yeah. And so to whatever degree a person has the comfort or luxury of being together, or as we would say, perceiving togetherness, in a relationship, a partnership, companionship, or what would appear to be marriage or bondage, whether that's in jail or outside in the grocery store or somewhere, you have bondage, right? People have accidents and they meet for the first time. They don't know if that's an introduction to them falling in love or getting married next. Who knows? If we meet again, is this the first time or is this one of the other times? Mishap, right? We're talking about something which is part of the machinery. Death, same thing. Go to the funeral, meet someone else. Someone else is standing in there, waiting for you. You never know. But that's the beauty of it. Why? Because we are the all. So why fuss about anything? We are the all. Familiarity is a different kind of, let's say, process. It's a curse and a gift at the same time. It's always pulling you. See? Liberation includes familiarity, but it's not about being used by the pulling and the tugging and the emotion and the gravity and the levity and see, being in and out. See, it just is what it is. So there's no in and out. There's no pulling, no pushing. It is what it is. See? It's here now. Regardless of the karma of appearances, it is here now. Oh, it's here now. When you're asked by your masters to sit, you sit happily and take a break. Break time. Sit. See, it means break connection with all the blah blah and the boom boom and the bam bam, all the car. See? And just sit, be bliss. And as a result, be whole. They be at this. That's good practice. It's okay. Left hand, right hand, yin and yang energies are like this. Boom. Yeah. Perfect. But who knows that? But when we are materialistic and owning and possessing, or being owned and possessed and being okay with that, or in agreement with that level of, let's say, karma, the ride is a little bit tougher. Because it said, does she, doesn't she, does he not? Am I loved, am I not loved? Cuckoo. Totally cuckoo. Am I? Am I? Cuckoo. End of story. Boom. Beginning of okay. Who cares? Who goes? Who dares? Who knows? Primary cognition. Who knows? Who cares? Who goes? Who dares? Primary. Sit in and be primary cognition. Primary awareness. Primordial awareness. And let the universe do what it does. Let the universe be what it is. Breathe and go with the flow. The Tao, see, is your transportation. There's your rocket ship or your magic carpet ride. See, the current of life itself. The open and spontaneous flow or stream of atoms we call the Shabda. The holy sound carries everything and everyone. See? From bliss, in bliss to bliss, fullness. If you separate from our object, say, oh good, see you soon. Again, or always seeing you. Always seeing, always feeling, always hearing, always being. And maybe that's a functional use of mind as consciousness. Always being one. True relationship, always being one. In bliss. True heart love. One beyond time. One in timelessness. Beyond concept. Concern. And material or physical feeling beyond that. True marriage means no other. Just here. As love. As love. It's you.
So who can be a teacher?
No one. No one can be a teacher. See? See, but a lot of people take training because they're educated, so that results in a type of teacher. But the real teacher is no teacher. It's like saying, who can play true avant-garde spiritual jazz? Very few people can do that. Because music doesn't play a factor in that case. Self is not a factor in that case. The transcendence of music and self is a factor in that case, which is a mystery. It's kind of a paradox. Playing without playing is a mysterious paradox. Teaching without teacher is a very similar paradox. That means ultimately one has to be a channel for what it is. It means you have to merge into what it is by scientific, methodological surrender into what it is. Sitting in nothingness and then allowing nothingness, the nothingness of your reality, emptiness, voidness or nirvanicness to arise of itself and manifest its radiance despite you, despite your karma, your preferences, your body parts and preoccupations and neurosis, despite all that. It just is what it is. Because we are channels of that, because we are made of it at the same time. So when it is said, well, how do we pursue this when no one's talking about it in such a casual and maybe brilliant manner? You're saying that no one's living it properly. When this is realization, there's nothing else but this, yet everything is as it is. It is as it is. So for good practice, then remember some of this for your purposes of eliminating false self-thought and mind and world programming. And just sit, as certain masters would acknowledge. Sitting is it. Sitting is doing nothing, being nothing, and knowing nothing at the same time. But not as a negative, as a realization of the clearance, the obstructionless, conceptualless, sort of like presence of ecstatic, spontaneous, original blissfulness, as occurs in, playing without playing, doing without doing, doing the do, playing the play.
Because it seems like there can be so much joy and embracing and, just
There is.
dancing away.
There is, yeah.
You can really
There is, yeah.
work with what you have.
It is, and that is working with what you have. The dancing away with it is working with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
There's a word that's used, mindfulness, in the traditions, like being aware. It's just like saying, being aware of what's around you, taking it into account. Don't be so distracted by phenomena relative to time and space, let's say, karma, familiarity and fancy and these things, distractions in general, let's say, and take stock in what you bring to the table. Almost in the way of know thyself, when the self in terms of limitation is a problem. So we need to have some, let's say, openness to the particular strategic use of language that is used for and against our purposes. Same word used for and against self. Qualified, false self, or self-realization. So how it's used, what it is, shows you exactly what needs to be the case relative to our inheritances. Say, your emotions, how to best express your emotions, scream more. Just scream more, wholeheartedly scream more. Find a place to scream. Say, I'm going out to do scream yoga right now, leave me alone. You're going to come back blissed out. See, because you met it face to face, head on, and you let it have all that you have. See, scream it out. That's music. Music therapy. If we're talking, let's say, needing to have physical exertion, yes, go with that, up to a point. But what's intelligent, scientifically, means with balance, a degree of understanding. Too much stress is going to be counterproductive. So using and exercising the right to develop more physical force, like emotional force, like mental force, intelligence, is part of our scientific responsibility. And then how to use that karma means you need to be with it. That's why it's good when you're in a mixing situation, pull away to get some perspective. Get some breathing room. So you have a better sense of who you are and take stock with what it is you have to work with. Because if you're around somebody all the time that's like you, but strong characters and tends to appear as a dominating force, wherever it is, then you're off you, then you're unhappy, then you want to kill the person you're with. You're going to be waiting for him in the morning instead of with breakfast with a 2x4. Or his guitar. You're going to hit him over the head with his guitar or something. Then that becomes the enemy because you're not utilizing your need for space. That means properly contexting and perceiving your own functioning. So we need space to get to the grace level of who you are and what it is you bring to the table. So all the more reason not just to sit, but to dance, move freely on occasion. Free dancing, free screaming, free vocalizing, as needed. And then free riding, free whatever it is, as needed. And carry forward the things you know you got from your blood that you need, that are good little habits, let's say. Good programmings to bring you comfort and release relative to the blood, not relative to your spirituality. That's a different circuitry. You might need to read ideas that help you recover your, say, dancing, mental dancing with, let's say, concepts, language, thoughts, let's say, understanding, wisdom and awareness. And each one has their own specific prescriptions for these results. That's it. And we need to be open to what that is. And go with, again, the Tao given to us, the Tao before us, the Tao within us and around us, that is moving us into this more ecstatic condition of non-preoccupation with self-indulgence. And more liberation, enjoyment. And the two are so intertwined, sometimes we lose proper cognition and perception of what it is. Vision, we lose vision. We have a blurred vision because we can't see, because there's a lack of space where it's needed. In order for melody to be beautiful, it needs space. And that has to be precise, exact space. So then it's the space of grace or the grace of space. It's not separation as a bad thing. It's called alignment as a good thing. Perception is important to clarify, understand, and then be at peace with the whole thing. Be at peace. Say it's really okay. Whatever you have to do is actually profoundly okay. And good. Good for everyone. Because you're good. You want to give the freedom to everyone. That is ultimately your own freedom. To be all you can be, not as a woman, but as a man-woman. Or a woman. A woman. Each father, mother. Mother, father. Being complete unto yourself. Feel okay with that. Already perfect. Already complete. Already excellent. Anything less is rather wafting from the toilet. Whoa. Where did that come from? Who's in my toilet? What is in my toilet? What? So we're talking about now the worship of kindergarten. Kindergarten practice. And more tribal, let's say, culturing, which is good in the beginning. Good start, like religion. like in music. It's good at the beginning. Maybe not the best way to end. Maybe not good ending. Yeah. We're talking tradition now. It's a good beginning. Not that it needs to be destroyed, but it's a stepping stone. See, we're talking birth, yes? From 2, you're number 3, you expand. Continual expansion. So there's no tribe except humanity is the only tribe. See? And so we need to understand that as part of it. Universe is the heart. Heart is the universe. So we have to have an idea of mastery and transcendence at the same time. Being free of suffering and yet full of compassion. Mastery, see, and compassion. We are preparing our heart for all people, not just a preferred cult or group. See, or kindergarten, a little club, a little storefront down the street. It's not bad. Great place. Very sacred, no doubt. Stepping stone. Everyone, everything, appearing and arising, is wood for the fire. Yeah. Whatever you say, whatever you think, it's what?
Wood for the fire.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. That's as the burn would have it, that's as the universe would have it, as the heart. Yeah. It's not against anybody. No, including everything, everybody. And then everything becomes a tribe. A tribe is a concept for the universe. Huge, infinite, proper, true tribe, no tribe. Loving everybody, not just people you get along with. That's the beginners. You have to get along with the people you can't get along with to save your life. You hear that loud and clear, so be ready. You were told before you got there, you better be ready for adversity and difference, see, until you transcend this whole idea of, well, the tribe is my comfort zone, so I need to, to be coddled, and I need to be cared for, and I need to be taken care of and protected as a little baby. Kindergarten. No. Break out, say, yes, I am what I am, warrior. Bring it on. Warrior S. Liberated. Gone beyond, see. Comfort. Kindergarten stage. See. Sacred. Yeah, that's kindergarten. You need kindergarten support. You need first grade then. And then you need all the grades. And then you need to actually graduate from the school. Say, bye-bye. Thank you. And you move on. Continual moving on. And what's going to happen when the earth sort of implodes again and again and again? The earth, as we know it, disappears. Okay? Super volcanoes blow every so many tens of millions of years. Fact. Geologists swear by it. It's their religion, to worship the appearances of the strata of the earth. Perfect. No problem. Well, what's the message? Well, you see, like these indications of 10 and 20 and 30 feet of ash on top of the surface of the earth. So, whoa, who's going to survive that? For how long? 1,000 years? More? Mad. Right. Dead earth. We're living on a dead earth. Living on a dead earth, so to speak. It's a paradox. And that's how it resuscitates and refreshes itself. And that's how, this is our place. This is our world, our reality. And so we have to understand that. Yeah, this is a dynamic place where death is life, life is death. Yeah. No comfort, but you have to be comfortable with the realization that you're okay. And that your true is okay. It's not the earth. We're not the earth then. What are we? Spirit. Then we have a bigger canvas. And we're spirit. No tribe. Space is a tribe. The space tribe. There you have it. Okay. Beautiful. I've always you.
So it might even seem a little bit intimidating or scary to have the opportunity to take on a form of mastery because of the weight of responsibility that comes with it.
Mastery means powerful responsibility. Now, beyond comprehension. So it's not a gig, like a little gig. It's not like a moment of this, a moment of that, a show business. It's not this kind of display of demonstration, status. It's not quite that simple. Mastery is profound channeling of universal forces that have something to do with humanity, something to do with, let's say, teaching, something to do with, let's say, practice, but then something to do with something else altogether, beyond those ideas. We have to say now is in the realm of being. It's not about learning, but it is about, as stated here, burning. That means continual cremation of information in a form of transformation into revelation. Now, revelation now, revelation now, refreshment now, seeing again now, recognition now, re-revelation now, re-realization now. New. Some would call it turning the wheel. In the traditions, I'd say burning all wheels, burning all the wheels, burning all the transformations into zero. Not against anything, but for real. So we are evolving from, let's say, the particular into the general, then into the universal. And only attitude will have let's say, a limitation or imposition of, let's say, obstruction, resistance on the process. You have to be enabling yourself by self-liberation, self-liberative techniques to unfold more effectively. And so this for you would be an ideal opportunity to really start to bring that into practice and not look for the same comforts and joys, self-limiting comforts and joys that another group, another tribe is going to do for you. So the idea is to honor the tribe, but no more than yourself. See it as what it is. A set of conditions and conventions that keep you in check and feeling comfortable. You don't want to feel that comfortable. If you're moving on the path of mastery, in other words, giving yourself the benefit of realizing all you can realize beyond comfort zones, being more than they're willing to be, because you are warrior. You've been in warriorness. You've understood and recognized and seen that fire as consistent with some of your own ancestry. And then that's moving in the direction of mastery. Complete burn of limitation. And being free, that means free of all comforts, so to speak. In the midst of comforts, no, it's just momentary. And thus open to create and recreate according to, let's say cosmic law, necessity, and then maybe even destiny, and relative to humanity, perhaps even at that level, not just personal, say utilization of creative leverage in terms of making yourself feel better or comfortable, in a manner of speaking. Going beyond that. This is important. Moving more towards mastery, which is an interesting symbol. It means never finished. Never done. Comment.
To find an outlet or a position or a function where that type of responsibility and force.
We're talking about genius now. Let's understand it in maybe a classic context. Not just knower, but creator. A creator beyond creator, which is more the case for what it is. Because we have creative genius, which is self-watching, self-amusing, self-building, self-worshipping, self-celebrating. Ooh, look at me. And then you have spiritual genius, which has nothing to do with that. It's mad. Not in a negative way, like a psychological genius. spiritually like realized genius. Just on and on, gone already, gone. See, we are part of that. And transcends loneliness like by galaxies, universes. Right? Because then you are at the core of your own nature. See, aloneness means having realized everything and nothing. See, at the point of the needle. Yeah. That still, that fine, that true, that clear, that real. Yeah. A true point. Peace. Yeah, peace. Creating of peace means allowing peace to create through you. Yeah. Who speaks like that exactly? Except the sages maybe. And maybe the saints. See? The masters. Yeah. These are insights from the secret whisperings of the masters. We have to be okay with the masters as our friends. Yeah. We have to be happy to be in their company and be of service to them since they serve humanity and the universe. We welcome their peace, their wisdom, and their profound understanding because we are part of that. We are the lineage beyond traditions. We are the galactic lineage. See? The true messengers of space to space, grace to grace.